Welcome back to some 0k action. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 on the red Comet map. Myself, Lightman versus the Sponge. So we'll see how that works out. I played a couple of games with him before actually, so yeah, had a bit of back and forth between us two, and well, as you can see there's a bit of an elo difference, but we'll see what the actual effect will be. So both starting in the top corners, and as myself, Lightman, I'm going for light vehicles. And looks like the Sponge is going for heavy tanks, so we're going to have a bit of a difference in terms of factories. Places without clicking again. Interesting. Well, we'll see how that works out. So yeah, it's just going to be going with that. And as myself, well, just going with pretty standard build. So yeah, Scorcher most likely to defend, a Dart to scout, Mason to build, of course, and an Officer comm as well. Interesting choice actually. So yeah, just going with a couple of mixers and some solar collectors. Huh. I see. Interesting. So there we go. Hell of a team game I just commentated on before. Not really sure what the Sponge was doing with his commander firing like that, like as if he might have told it to manually fire that way. In any case, my Dart does manage to get a full scout of the Sponge's base while he's got no scouting on my base. The Kodachi just being used to make sure the Dart doesn't do anything too terrible, although the Weld will be able to take it on anyway. It's little blaster cannons on top of that, and the Dart blows up rather spectacularly there, so well, he did what he was meant to do, which was to scout, so there you go. Since nothing else is really happening, we'll just fast forward a little bit actually. So just having a look, the economy is pretty much even for both of us. Sponge getting a bit of an early lead there. It does come in with the Kodachi actually, so we'll just okay, yep, does actually manage to take out one mix as well. And yeah, he's going to do a pretty good job kiting the Scorcher actually, so Bastard's going to be set on fire. And the Kodachi is just going to get away scot-free, taking out one mix, and I think the Scorcher should be able to survive though, most likely. So yeah, he's got a slight economic lead, the Sponge, but well, we'll see if that keeps on snowballing into something a bit bigger. We'll just have to wait. Oh, over land, of course, yes. Oh, not bad. Siege tank. Anyway. Oh, god damn. Alright, well, see what happens. Well, Scorchers versus Panthers. I've had mixed opinions on which one should actually win, depending on micro. Some say that Scorchers have never really beaten Panthers at all, even if microed well, and some would say, you know, they can do alright if they surround them. Sorry. Yeah, it's all about closing the distances, basically. Yeah, closing the distance to the Panthers and you know, taking them out for the short-range heat rays, which of course do more damage the closer you are. So, well, actually, no, wait a minute. Panthers 250 range, Scorcher's 270, 3.7, 3.4. So the Scorcher, really? Okay, I didn't know that, but apparently you can actually kite the Panthers. The only problem is that they've got crap loads of HP though, so while you're kiting them, you're kind of going to have but they're kind of going to last a while, but still. In either case, it comes down to, well, either kiting them, as you can see, according to the raw stats anyway. Yeah, either kiting the Panthers or getting a surround on them so you can actually just charge in and yeah, just engage the Panthers at point blank range. The only problem is though, is that when they blow up, they let off an EMP blast, which can stun your Scorchers as well. And in fact, it's actually very likely to happen because of the fact that these guys need to be at point blank range to deal the most amount of damage. So yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a tricky matchup, but just have a look at army value. Yeah, the Sponge is slightly ahead there. I'm very slightly ahead in economy, not when it comes to energy though. In fact, I'm actually floating metal as a result there. Whoopsie lonk. But the Sponge, yeah, just continuing to build up a bit more of a military advantage, blowing up all my defences while keeping his tanks alive. A pretty good micro there with his Panthers. Scorcher, I don't know what I was doing sending up a single Scorcher against them. That's not exactly going to work out well. Again, we got another message on Steam, which I'll be replying to afterwards. But yeah, look, this... Okay, what the hell? Why wasn't he shooting at him? I'm pretty sure the Scorcher was able to fire at the Panthers, but... Yeah, wow, I'm really screwing up here. I'm just sending in my units in dribs and drabs. And, well, these Panthers, they've got, well, they're very powerful individually, especially compared to Scorchers, so I shouldn't be sending in Scorchers on their own like that, basically getting them taken out. And yeah, now my army is basically next to nothing compared to the Sponge, so whoopsie long, bit of a mistake by myself there. And I might have been able to redeem myself if I destroyed this Lotus as well, but unfortunately I only had what appears to be one Scorcher out, and I should have just sent a couple actually. I think 2 could probably take on the Welder, and 2 should be able to take on the Lotus, I think, depending on how you micro them. Also had microing as well for some reason. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, they're also doing some tests on animations and all that as well, so there you go. So yeah, basically, yeah, we just got Panther spam from the Sponge, and really, it's served him pretty well so far. He's actually going to be transitioning to, oh no, not transitioning to anything, it's just going for a single Panther, not single Panther, a single Kodachi, single Welder. Kodachi just for raiding, although Panthers can do pretty much the same thing. The thing with Kodachis, of course, is because they use that napalm bomb, they only need to launch one single napalm bomb, and that'll blow up a metal extractor every time it does that, so they can sort of scoot in, scoot out. While the Panthers, just have a look actually, 220 plus paralysis. Yeah, they need a couple of shots to take out the mechs, I suppose, so I'm pretty sure the Kodachi should be a bit faster as well. In either case, yeah, the Sponge has pretty much got me beaten in terms of army value. One thing I'm doing good at is economy. I do have... Okay, never mind. Huh. No, never mind. My economy sucks as well. That's interesting. I could swear that I just saw my economy go up for a second, but no. The Sponge has got pretty good economy and has blown up my commander as well, so there goes even more economy and defense of myself. And army value is pretty low. He's got 4 times army value. In fact, he could actually just waltz into my base right now, but nope, he's actually going to keep on just sitting tight really. He does have a radar, so he can see around. The Scorcher for myself coming in, hopefully going to be avoiding the Lotus, yes. And actually should be able to strike out these undefended bases, unless if the Raven gets me first, which it might be able to. Oh, it misses. It got me at a bit of a bad angle there, so... Oh, very nicely done indeed. Alright, well, not too shabby. Cost margin, yeah, indeed. Levelers should be able to counter Panthers just fine and dandy, but you basically need 1 leveler per Panther, because 1 leveler will counter 1 point something Panthers, not even 2 Panthers basically. And actually, well, good micro by myself there, actually dodging the shots there. And in fact, this thing's staying alive. It might be able to take out... nope. No, unbelievable. I was right next to the bomber, of course. Unfortunately, I didn't react fast enough to the bomber basically rising from the base and then dropping its bomb a split second later, so very, very close. If I took that out, well, it would have given me more time at the very least. But yeah, the problem is the Sponge's army is much bigger than mine, and his economy is much bigger as well. Although I could swear there was a point where mine was actually a bit bigger, but well. Yeah, bugs everywhere. Hopefully they'll be sorted out in the latest version of Springy. 0K basically is a game that uses that particular engine. So yeah, got 3 levelers, but 7 Panthers and 2 Reapers, which levelers don't exactly counter. In fact, just look at their range: 360, 290. Yeah. The thing with levelers is because their shots are incredibly fast and the Reapers are incredibly slow, is that they can sort of dodge the shots of the Reapers, but overall though they just get countered by Reapers basically. And they get countered by Bombers as well, it seems. Very surprising. Oh, it's got freaking Kodachi being a pain in the ass. Yeah, the problem is though, because he's also making me chase him, well, he's doing pretty well against my defensive force there. At the very least the Lotus should be able to stop him from going further up. And, well, he actually doesn't have any idea, he doesn't have any radar over this section of the map. He can probably assume that I've got some stuff over here, but he's not raiding any of my naked mexes, which is pretty lucky for myself actually. So, making sure that my economy is not completely gone to hell, which I suppose is better than nothing. My energy income though, I really needed to work on that this game it seems, because, yeah, I'm floating metal again, and, well, okay, I probably should have had a bit more build power coming out as well actually, but, yeah, I shouldn't really be bothered reclaiming, but, dear me. The hell's this nut dart doing? Scouting, I guess. But anyway, yeah. Because yeah, you need both energy and metal to build, of course, and well, as you can see, I've got pretty abysmal amounts of energy compared to the sponge, but there we go, just now starting to get an equilibrium with metal there, so certainly took my time there, should have been paying a bit more attention to that, but oh well. Indeed. Yeah, sometimes the bomber AI can be a bit screwy, to say the least. So yeah, Ravagers, not Ravagers, Reapers and Panthers. I mean, really, the Panthers and alone would be enough to take me out, let alone sending in the Ravagers. Oh, not the Ravagers, the Reapers, should I say. Yeah, Reapers, Ravagers. Yes, Ravagers are the vehicle equivalents. Much lighter though. But yeah, the Panthers alone would be enough. And the Reapers are actually being left at home. I guess to be repaired. He should have sent up the ones who were at full health in that case to help out. But in any case, yeah, finally he's going in for the killing blow, most likely. Yes, no. Maybe, no. Well, yeah, he's sort of just dodging in and out, I guess. He's probably wary about being ambushed or something, but he doesn't really have too much to fear, to say the least. Yeah, the single the single level is going to do a lot, as you can see. Seem to do nothing. Well, when you send them in like that, then yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. Yes. Anyway, yeah, a single leveler versus all, well, even two levelers versus all these Panthers isn't going to do too much. Is not going to do too much. Sorry. In fact, 300 metal compared to 240. In fact, yeah, it's one of those rare instances where the Riot vehicle or Riot unit is actually cheaper than the Raider unit it's meant to take out. So yeah, definitely do need one leveler per Reaper essentially. That'll cost effectively take them out, provided that of course I micro them properly as well, you know, getting them to kite the Panthers as much as possible. Yeah, levelers trying. Well, I am massing them, I suppose, but yeah, really. The sponge is basically just continuously expanding. I don't know how the hell I managed to get this mason here. Probably, oh, okay, well these mixers are naked, so I suppose I just waltzed him past there, and now I'm just going to be building up. A single Lotus to defend is not going to be enough, to say the least. At the very least, I do have a couple of crashes to take out the bombers, but really it's just a matter of time before, eventually, before the sponge sends in seven Panthers and 6 Reapers there. I believe that's the icon for them. Yeah, 7 Panthers and 6 Reapers to basically blow the crap out of me. His army value is ridiculously big, my god, and he's just continuing to advance forward into my territory there. Indeed. Well, at least I'm managing to take out his bombers, but really, he's got so many bombers, he can just bum rush my crashers if he really wants to, and the crashers are out of position to defend these levelers anyway, so what the hell, it's going to be probably one last charge by myself, one last valiant charge, and it's not going to work out well. The Reapers coming in are basically going to hard counter the levelers. Okay, although I'm pretty sure this Reaper just got hit by this Reaper's shells, but oh well. I mean, Scorchers coming in is nice, but sorry, we need more of them basically. Stomach being a bit grouchy there, but anyway. Sorry about that. But yeah, Scorchers, of course they'd be the great counter against the Reapers, but really, I just don't have enough of anything really to be able to properly counter anything, because first I threw stuff in dribs and drabs, and then I basically lost quite a bit of my economy. So, yeah, I mean, light vehicles versus heavy tanks can work. I definitely have seen it work between high level players, so I'm not exactly a high level player, but I dare say I can still make it work. But yeah, this game was definitely a very harsh lesson. I mean, especially with heavy tanks, because they're so powerful individually, you just can't send in individual lighter units against them and hope to really do anything. Of course, I mean, generally, you know, that's the case, but with heavy tanks, that difference is so freaking pronounced because these things are so expensive and because they're so heavily armoured and all that. Yeah, you basically, you need bigger groups of lighter units to take them on, essentially, and yeah, I think, well, sending in the Scorchers on their own and all that, and yeah, just actually had a pretty good job jinking those shots, but anyway, yeah, just sending them in like that before, yeah, basically handed over the army advantage to the Sponge, and he actually seemed to have an economic advantage for much of the game. Not to mention the fact that I didn't properly manage my energy income either, for that matter. Ended up floating quite a bit of metal, and well, that just meant more of an army and economic advantage for the Sponge. So yeah, a few things I kind of did wrong there, but oh well, live and learn, eh? Even though I'm not exactly that new to the game, I'm still learning. But then again, of course, I suppose experienced players are always going to be learning as well, so... The Sponge probably didn't really learn too much from this game, though. I think I learned a bit more than from my mistakes than the Sponge would have from his mistakes. Indeed. And yeah, defenders, a Lotus, really, it's... Nah, it's not gonna work, I mean, really. A couple more crashes and all that. Actually, I do have a Dominatrix, which... Does she outrange the Reapers? I don't think she does. Oh no, wait a minute, Reaper assaulting. 360 versus 450. Well, there you go. Oh, actually, I forgot to compare speeds, actually. 2.5, 2.2, so she's a bit slower though. The only problem is though is that it'll take a pretty long time for a Dominatrix to capture a Reaper. In fact, I can afford 2 Dominatrixes for each Reaper, actually. Well, we'll see how it works out. We're starting to capture one, but yeah, look at that very slow capture speed. It is pretty pitiful, basically. And yeah, I basically just sent it in and suicided it, so yes. Yeah, actually I lost it some time ago. The only problem was that the Sponge for some reason wasn't going in for the kill. I'm not really sure why, but there you have it. Still an interesting game, definitely a lesson in, you know, try not to throw your units away against big powerful units. They can just get back to get repaired, because I did notice that the Sponge did that as well actually. Sent his Reapers and Panthers out to a lesser degree back to this Caretaker and possibly other places, maybe these 2 Caretakers as well, just to get them repaired before sending them back again, while I basically, well, threw my levelers and Scorchers away, essentially sending them in. I mean, I was basically using light vehicles almost like heavy tanks, basically, which doesn't work out too well, to say the least. So, yeah, well, good game to our opponents. This has been Dave Dadovich signing off. Welcome again to some 0K action. It's going to be a 1 versus 1. And voice going funny there for a second, but anyway, it's going to be 1 versus 1 on the Trojan Hills map. Myself, Lightman versus Crazy 135. Ah, okay, there's a bit of a difference in elo. Well, we'll see what happens. In either case, I got myself Lightman going for Cloakies. Crazy 135 also going for Cloakies as well. Nothing too unexpected for this particular map. It's pretty freaking hilly, and I'm pretty sure there are certain hills, or certain slopes anyway, that the vehicles cannot actually go up and down on. I can't remember which ones they are, but yeah, I did run into that actually when I was playing a team game on this map, I believe. So, we'll see what happens though. Got, Okay, that was interesting. But anyway, yeah, we do have a couple of glaives being built up. So 2 early glaives and then a conjurer. And a 3rd glaive as well. So these ones are... Okay, well there we go. I thought I was just going to leave them there for defense. I probably should have got this guy to start executing and build orders. Well, I should have given them the orders before he got out of the factory, for God's sake. But in any case, not building anything at the moment, so... Focusing on economy, perhaps? Well, we'll see what happens. And enough of that. What is Crazy doing? He is actually going for a whole smattering of units, in fact. Wait a minute. Okay, he's got 2 initial glaives as well. They're going to be encountering each other pretty soon. And he's actually going to be transitioning to Rockos and Warriors pretty early. So these 2 glaives are going to be encountering each other, but yeah, I do get myself into a bit of an unfavourable position there. Just continue to keep on going. And let's see, this Conjurer, he is... Well, the defender will not be up in time, but these 2 glaives should be able to defend, hopefully. These 2 glaives should be able to defend in the case. Actually, good job by the Crazy, managing to take out one of my glaives, despite the fact that I thought that I was doing a good job with retreat micro, but apparently not good enough. Well, there you have it. In the case, the defender will finish him off, so because they died in my territory, I suppose I can just reclaim that and get a net win. So in either case, the main base itself was not really scouted or harassed or anything like that, and there was Lotus to defend anyway, although they could have used the Wind gens for a bit of cover. We'll just see what happens in Crazy's base since my glaive is finally going to make his way there. He's actually just going to run into a warrior most likely. If I sent him along the edges that would have been alright, but yeah, he's just going to die horribly. I don't react in time to retreat him, and well, that's it. I think I've spotted his Cloaky factory. I really should learn what the hotkey is for actual vision and all that. I mean, I know there's there's one hotkey which displays, you know, what each player can see and all that, but there's also another one which actually displays exactly what their sight is and what they've seen previously, because well, like in RTS games in general, if you see an enemy's building and then you no longer have sight of it, well then you can get like usually like an indication of what that building was in the fog of war, so like usually like a transparent building or something like that, you know, just to show what your units detected there earlier. So indeed. Huh. Interesting. But anyway, continuing to harass my glaives, and I might actually be able to do a bit of damage. This defender is... No, why did I... Oh, I should be attacking at this thing's... Wow, okay, that was very close. I think it was almost reloaded all of its missiles, but thankfully I did manage to destroy it in time, and actually managing to do a bit of economic damage there. Actually, just having a look, yeah, I do have an economic advantage over Crazy. Also managing to confine him to his base a little bit there, and ouch, losing another glaive to defenders, just Defender City it seems. And there we go, managing to take out more mexes. I might be able to take out maybe one or two more wind gens. The warrior is... I don't believe it. That is one heroic glaive there. And just before he dies, he gets the... Okay, sorry about that, I had a bit of a heavy meal beforehand, but anyway, yeah, just before he dies, I noticed that he got the silver medal promotion thingy there, so yep, definitely doing quite a bit of damage for his cost, and yeah, now I finally started to transition into more regular forces. So it looks like 2 Roccos for every single warrior and glaive, so might be a bit heavy for Roccos, not for Roccos, for warriors, but yeah, looks like I'm just using them for mobile defense it seems, so yeah, I think I'm just going to use them for that. I'm sure that... Okay, yeah, just blocking off choke points and all that. So yeah, the map is pretty heavy when it comes to choke points, basically. So yeah, it's mostly a bot map. I mean, technically the spiders can walk down and up these slopes, but they do it at such a slow speed, it doesn't really make it so that worthwhile. I mean, it's just so slow to go up and down here, just having a look. Yeah, it's a pretty steep slope, as you can see, so... There you have it, got another raid. In either case, my opponent should be... Actually, does he have any radar? Radar, yep, he does. Oh, right here. Okay, yep, he'll be able to spot this. And the warrior will be able to take out one of the glaives, and the second one as well. Just barely, though, before he gets out of range there. Whoopsie long, but as myself, I do at least have a good setup for an economic lead, although that's... Yeah, okay, it's not that big, actually. Actually, my energy lead is pretty big. Oh, made a bit of a stuff up, actually, with these wind gens. Whoopsie long. So, yeah, probably should try to connect that just to get a bit more overdrive, a bit more evenly, but no, instead I'm actually just going to connect them like that, so rather than putting something in, rather than putting something in between there, just going to connect them up like that. Do you have a Lotus to defend? Should be alright. And yeah, just continuing to slowly but surely advance forward. This warrior, interesting position for him. The only problem is though, that it's facing off against Roccos is basically going to be forced to retreat, but I do have some glaives in reserve here, and a warrior presumably just guarding these choke points. I think I'm just using them really as mobile turrets, and not doing such a bad job. The only problem is short range, the units can still run around, but it'll still be tricky to do that basically. And I've got an actual attack sort of happening as well, so... Okay, yeah, I must have spotted that warrior with the glaives. And yeah, just moving everything into position, and well, I do have couple of Roccos, so yeah, we should be able to take out the warrior pretty easily. Actually, this is a pretty decent attack for this flank. The only thing to defend really is the warrior and the defender. Conjurer going to be actually expanding there, despite the fact that it's right in the line of fire. Oh, okay. He doesn't have radar coverage there. How is our radar coverage? So he's got radar coverage there. I've got a little bit more coverage thanks to this second radar tower. Initial radar tower right here. Could have actually placed it... Well, I couldn't really place it around there at the beginning of the game. That's probably what I'm going to want to place the next one. We'll see what happens though. We do have simultaneous attacks happening on left and right, and of course that means I won't be able to check them out simultaneously. Glaives versus Glaives, and good job actually getting him to retreat like that, forcing me to retreat as well. Not that I'd really want to run into what he's got there anyway, and yeah, but we have more Rockos and also Warrior coming in as well, so it should be alright against this attack here. What should be interesting to see is if I'll be able to crack my opponent's defenses from the east. If I can do that, well, his base is a pretty short distance away and there's nothing defending it. In fact, he actually made a bit of a mistake. Oh, actually, I don't think he made a mistake there. I think he had wind gens connecting all of his mixes, but I destroyed them. He should have rebuilt them in that case, although this one's not connected to that mix though, so yeah, needs to be overdriving a little bit more effectively there. He does have some excess energy, so yeah, might as well just try to overdrive efficiently in that case. But in any case, my attack is happening on the top. At the same time, we do actually have a whole bunch of Rockos coming in. My Glaives should be able to take care of them, as well as my own Rockos, so reinforcing units should be able to handle that. At the same time, my attack on the top is being blunted, and even though I do have a bit of an economic advantage over Crazy, he does have all this wreckage to work with. So let's just have a look. Yeah, let's see, well, 650 metal going down rapidly. Well, it's a decent amount actually. It's better than nothing, especially since I don't have any metal to reclaim, although I do have better passive metal income, so there you go. I suppose that's to consider. Where's my... there. Actually, I do have more radar incoming as well, so basically spotting everything except what's behind this hill. Bit of, well, that's just a very conservative radar placements basically. And yeah, I can basically see a little bit into there, so just got a bit of a blind spot here and the opponent's main base as well. Actually, wait a minute, is this slope? Oh no, this slope is not bot pathable. No problemo. Yeah, not bot pathable. So I suppose spiders could go up some of these little slopey bits that the bots can't, but really, yeah, I don't think this is a map for spiders at all. And we've actually got Rockos guarding the jumper. Level 2 comm, light particle beam, 1 repair, radar jammer and high density plating, so he can't actually see me. I don't know if you can actually see that on the video, but there's like a very subtle red tinge, like a red area around my commander. That basically indicates the jammer radius, so he basically can't see this guy on radar. Not that he'll really be able to get radar coverage there anyway. Yeah, his radar doesn't even extend that far, but still, pretty handy thing to have actually. The only problem is though is that once he walks away from all these structures, they're going to get revealed on radar, but well, what can you do? I can't have it all. Raiding force, should I say, or radar, whatever. Raiding force of Glaives coming in either case to, yeah, just to destroy the outlying expansions of Crazy, although it's more like his natural expansion than anything else, I suppose. And we do have a bit of a counterattack towards the west here, but we've got craploads of Rockos to take care of that. In fact, I've got so many Rockos, I probably should have mixed in 1 or 2 Warriors as well. These Rockos are going to be a bit vulnerable to a mass Glaive attack, which thankfully is not happening, although it might actually be happening very soon. We do have Glaives being set up for Crazy, definitely reacting appropriately to those Rockos which are converging on his position shortly. The only problem is that these Rockos are going to be merged with, presumably with this army group here. This army group here does contain Rockos as well, but he did manage to blunt my attack there, and was he actually reclaiming as well? No, there's still metal to reclaim actually. I mean, it doesn't look like much, and I know that these diminutive wrecks don't look like as if they're worth reclaiming in general, but really, I think there was 500 metal left or something like that. He should be reclaiming it basically. He needs all the help that he can get at the moment, especially since I've got map control. I mean, I do have a few vulnerabilities. The commander, well actually no, he's a level 2 commander with a bit of extra health. Yeah, actually might still be vulnerable to a massive Glaive strike. And I do have a naked mix there, and really just light defenses around these mixes, which would be the defender, and that's not even covering most of the mixes anyway. So yeah, they actually do have a couple of weak points here and there, although I am plugging the gaps slowly but surely, so... Yeah, well, he could try to maybe bring out a couple of Scythes as well, because well, yeah, if he uses them right, he might actually be able to do quite a bit of damage, given the fact that my actual static defenses are relatively light, so... Although more so than Crazy's defenses, of course, but anyway. So yeah, at the same time, my army is being a little bit indecisive as to what the hell to actually do. A whole bunch of Rockos and a Warrior there. But here we go, another fresh battle happening here. Probably should keep these Warriors back, actually. Of course, Warrior versus Warrior is pretty even, but I'd be better off just using their direct counter against them, especially since that direct counter is only several meters away. But oh well, a couple of warriors do survive at the very least, so we should be able to dispatch the glaives pretty easily. And here comes the reserve force, so just forming them into two separate lines for some reason. And here we go, we've got another line of attackers coming in as well. Actually, would have been a great opportunity to send Zeus's to tank these defender shots, but I suppose the warriors can tank to a greater degree than the Rokkos. Still, they're not exactly meant to do that. They're not very cost effective for health compared to assault units, but whatever. They're still alive and they can take out these glaives pretty nicely actually, so yeah, I think I've mostly just got them on fight move, don't I? Yes, pretty much everything seems to be on fight move except for the glaives of crazy, and they're getting taken out. The craziness. So what is he doing here? Just massive amounts of glaives now, nothing too unexpected. The only problem is though, well actually, wait a minute. Warrior, yeah, actually, nah, he can't really do too much here. I mean, if these guys are a bit more in the open, then I think he might be able to draw away my warriors and then send in some glaives from one of the flanks to attack. Like for example here, actually they can kind of move back very easily though, because these actual distances are pretty small. But in any case, what the hell, we got a massive amounts of rockets coming in from all angles. Still was quite a game actually. I dare say that heroic glaive at the beginning for me really set the tone for the rest of the match. So still an interesting match nonetheless, showing the power of units that are microed. As well, I would expect, I suppose. I mean, especially in this sort of game, yeah, microing stuff around really can make a lot of difference. I mean, that single glaive, the amount of stuff he took out before he eventually succumbed was just ridiculous. I mean, he got that silver star, which I think indicates, yeah, 5 times its own cost was destroyed, and there we go, there's crazy getting the hell out of there. So, still interesting game nonetheless. That should be it for 0K for myself tonight, and yeah, I shall see you all next time.